It is YouTube Wednesday. This project is actually a lot of collecting and a little bit of assembly. One of the main things here that you're going to need is a cool looking box. This is kind of like a suitcase style type box. I got this at Hobby Lobby, which is the local craft store. They have great sales, kind of like Joann's Fabric does all the time. Something is on sale. And if you pay attention, you can get really good deals. This has $25 marked on it, but I got it for 50% off. So I paid $12 for this box. This is the box that I'm going to turn into my vampire hunting kit. This foam. I got it actually at Joann's Fabrics. It also happened to be 50% off. Get on their mailing list. Have them mail you coupons. Every month I get a 40% off of one item coupon. If I just buy big sheets of foam, what a bargain and a saver. Okay? But I'm going to get started here and just simply measure out. I know because the lid and the bottom are the same, I'm just going to measure it-ish this way and use the marker underneath to give me the basic outline. And once I get that cut, I'll test it to make sure it fits inside of the box. Obviously, I have a few to make. And you will probably only have one. I'm just going to cut along the lines that I marked out, giving myself some room. It's always easier to trim away than it is to add foam back. Taking my piece of foam and test fitting it inside of my box. And it is a little bit on the long side, like I had hoped. But it's not too wide, so that's nice. And that's how much I have to take off. So that's a perfect fit. I'm going to test it up top. Should be the exact same. And it's good. Before I do anything else with this, I'm going to use it as a template to cut out a couple more. One thing I know I want in there is a mallet. This is a wooden mallet to drive in wooden stakes into the vampire's chest. That stake is actually a little bit long. I'll just use this stake, which is already shorter. I'm setting my items in, and I'm tracing around them with the Sharpie. So I wanted a hammer and stake in there. I also want a rosary. Now the rosary will take up, a different shape because it's a chain. So I don't need, to carve out the shape of a rosary. I'm just going to make a pocket for it. And because it would fall out of the top, I'm going to make it a pocket right in here. Also, I want in there a mirror. Now, and the rosary I got from a dollar store. The crummier the dollar store, the worse part of town it's in, the more likely it is to have a cool looking rosary. Now this one was $2 because dollar stores in the hood are never $1. They're always $+ stores. And they sell phone cards. But they also have rosaries and a lot of other cool stuff you can't get anywhere else. So, I'm going to hang on to this guy. I know I want to put a cross in here. And I'm going to put the cross in up top. Crosses in. I want to put a Bible in here. This is a Bible that I got. It's a little Christmas Bible, but it has a cool brown leather-like cover. I've got it for $5 and gold edges. You know, I'll wrap some leather around it and tie it together, and that'll help make it look a little older than it does now. Also take the shine off of it a little bit, but I'll age it later on. Now I need to find out a few things to put in, so I got to make sure I have room. The Bible can go right here. Alright. And at the hobby store also, I got a couple mirrors in a package. These were $2.50. So I keep my mind on these items being inexpensive while I'm buying them, because I don't want to spend so much that, you know, I have a $5,000 vampire kit on my hands. And leaving these shapes here and drawing them now lets me know what I have room for and what I don't have room for. I also want a vial of holy water in here. By doing the foam custom every time, I can change what comes in and what goes out. I don't have room for the holy water here, but I have room for it in between the wooden stake and the mallet. Or above it, even better. So I got room for it there. That's where it's going to go. And that means my rosary is going to have to go up here. So I'll go ahead and make a pocket for the rosary up here, and I'll have to do something to make it stay in. And that's just going to be a pocket. Alright, so now the things that are going in this kit, I set off to the side. This is going to be holy water. When I was at the craft store, I picked up some cork, because I'll put a cork in this. I also picked up some little cross charms, so I can glue a cross charm onto this bottle. And then people will know immediately that that's holy water as soon as they see it. Before I get to finishing all of the props, what I want to do is cut my foam. Now I'm going to cut out the foam with my trusty X-Acto knife. And what you guys really can't see right now is I'm just peeling this back and cutting from underneath on it. Now I have my tray cut out for my steak. And that fits in there beautifully. When I get fabric in there, it's going to fit in there even better. Go ahead and cut out this one. That is going to look good. I'm all carved out, and now I'm going to make some room so I can do the fabric portion of the box, covering the foam. I bought a couple yards of red fleece, and I'm going to use the red fleece to cover up my trays in order to make these just look a little more professional, a little bit nicer. I like the fleece because it stretches just a little bit as the fibers give out, but then you can also smooth out the corners and get a lot of those big wrinkles out of there. And I'm just going to kind of test fit and put this in. You see how much, even though that's fit down in there, it still pops up quite a bit. Okay. And there. And I'll have to work to get those wrinkles out, get it as smooth as I can, but that's basically how it's going to look inside the case. And cut my piece a little closer to what I want. And I'll be able to go right up the center of this fabric here. I want to give myself just way more than I need. Fleece is cheap. So don't scrimp in order to save money, because it's not going to help in the long run if you don't have enough. And right now, December, this fleece is on sale. Alright, I'm actually going to pull this up and give this a little bit of spray with spray adhesive to help tack that down. I'm removing my other fabric so that I don't get it all spray adhesive-y. I really want this to stick down in there well, so I have to kind of work from one side and push it down into these recesses, because that's where I need it to go. I need it to go deep down. If I laid it on top and tried to push it in, it just wouldn't go deep enough. Doing an angle cut right up to the corner. I'm a little wrinkly up here in the corner. I don't mind that. It gives a bit of character to it. I'm going to go ahead and do the other piece for up top. This is the vampire kit finished. But I still need to go to each individual item and age it and stain it and add details to make each item finished in order to make the whole thing be a finished piece. Because right now it just looks a little stuck together. I want to get some unity in with it. I have everything here, and because I want to stain everything to kind of make it feel like it's part of one unit, I'm going to use the same stain and antique on pretty much everything. In order to do that, right now I've got to glue together the things that need to be glued together. Starting with the holy water bottle. It's a little old antique bottle that I found, but it's going to scream holy water when I'm done with it. I have a little bag of cross charms that I bought at Hobby Lobby, $1.47. In them, here is one. It has a little loop on top of it. Remember that little loop? It was awesome. Good times. Dollar store super glue. Never leave home without it. I'm going to glue this cross onto this bottle. You know, drop on each corner will probably do the trick just fine. I'm going to press it down, which will kind of bend the cross to the glass's shape. I'm going to set this aside so it can dry. The other cross that came in that set, take off the loop, and I'm going to glue it into the center of the wooden cross, because that's going to give some unity between these two objects. Come into my mallet. Again, everything, I'm going to give it all kind of the same texture. I've got a mahogany antique leather stain that I'm going to stain this wooden mallet with. It'll work just great. Already, that looks one heck of a lot better than it did. Same for the stake. I want it to look like they're the same. And this won't take color as well, but some of that color is going to stay on there and help tie them together. It's got a little hanger on the back. I don't want this to be a hanging cross. This is a Repel Vampire cross. Hold it in your hand. So I'm just going to unscrew this little hanger and take it off. Now all of this cross I'm going to age and hit with this stain. It's going to get in the recesses between the two crosses, the cracks in the wood. The bottle. It too. I'm hitting it with the leather stain, because there's folds and stuff where it's going to catch. Craft store, a little bag of corks. The Bible. I want to be very clear that I'm doing nothing sacrilegious here. I think I'm enhancing the beauty of this book by making it have more perceived value. So I'm treating it very reverently. When the bookmaker made this Bible, they decided to dress it up by giving it a gold edge. It is not sacrilegious of me to dress it up by distressing it and making it look cooler and older. The cooler a Bible looks, the more likely someone is to read it. If anything, I'm encouraging the use of this Bible. Just want to be clear on that. First things first, this is just some leather strapping, just some scrap leather that I had around from other projects. This looks too new and shiny on the outside. I'm going to hit it with a sanding block. Just to scuff it a bit, take off some of that shine. Just the cover. Just give it a little nick, you know, just one, and a fold. You know, maybe he's got a prayer dog-eared. I'm going to knock down the gold a little bit, keeping it very tight together so I don't stain the pages themselves. It's still a good book. But I just took some of the leather stain and I put it in a spray bottle with some water, really diluted. And there's blood.